Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dimitri. So today we're gonna be creating a couple of methods, and I'm gonna create those two methods inside this program class. I'm gonna show you basically how to do it. Alright, I'm going to create a public method, and this is going to return something. So I'm going to call a public integer. I'm going to call this way method, and I'm gonna pass a couple of integers. I'm gonna call integer a and integer b. Those are going to be my two methods, my two integers inside this method. All right, that's my first method. Then I'm going to return something, so I'm going to return a plus b. So that's going to be my first method. My second method, I'm going to create it inside this class. I'm going to call that method a public integer way2. Let's just call this way car. This is going to be way person. So it makes more sense to have specific names. All right. So, and this is going to be a decimal. So we're just going to call this public decimal, and I'm going to pass a couple of decimals. So decimal 1 is going to be, let's say, x, and decimal 2 it's going to be, let's call it y. All right, perfect. So I just created a couple of methods. I'll have to return something here, so this disappear. All right, so I'm going to return x plus y. All right, so I have a couple of methods here inside the same class. They're public integer. I'm not gonna make these static methods just because I want to show you how to create objects and access these other methods from the static void main method. All right, so I'm going to call this object in order to access these two methods because I'm working inside the class program class. So I'm going to say program, and I'm going to call this object 1, for example. This one is equal to new program. So this is the name of my class. We're working on the class program. So now I created this object so I can access all these methods from this class. Since these methods are not static methods, I have to create objects. All right, so then I'm going to say, all right, I want my O1, which is my object 1, to call my methods. So my method way car, and I'm going to pass a couple of integers. So let's just pass 70, and let's just pass 80. All right, so that's perfect. So I'm gonna put this inside a variable. All right, so I'm going to have these integers. Oh, sorry, we're talking about decimals right here. So way car is a decimal. So I'm going to have a decimal here and here. And let's just make this more realistic. We're gonna say 700 kilograms and 800 kilograms. All right. And then I'm going to have a decimal. I'm going to have this car weight 1. All right, so now this is stored in this variable. Now what I want to do here is I'm going to console write line my car weight 1. So if I run this code, I'm supposed to return x plus y. So it's going to be 1500 as a decimal. So let's just run this with F5 and I'm going to have 1500. All right. So we're going to do the same for our weigh person. So I'm just going to create it here and I want this to be an integer. So integer, and then I'm just going to give it a name. So I'm going to say person weigh 1 is equal to, so here's the catch. So I have to create a different object in order to access this person method. So the idea is to do the same program, because we're talking about the program class, and then I'm going to say, okay, object 2 new program. Now I have access to the class with this object 2, so I'm going to do the same. So object 2, and now I can access the method that I need. So we already worked with the method weigh car, so I'm gonna work with weigh person, and I'm going to say that this is going to pass a couple of integers, so integer a and integer b. So I'm going to have 80 and then 60. All right. Again, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put this inside a variable. So I'm going to say this is an integer, and then I'm going to call this person weight, which it was already here. So let me just copy this and paste it here. So I have this inside this variable. So what I can do right now is console write line, and I'm going to print my other method, which is person weigh person, but now I have it in this variable person weigh 1, 80 and 60. So here I'm going to have my 1500, and now I'm going to have 80 plus 60. So if I run these two methods, I'm going to have the result. Oh, sorry, 140. Yeah, that's okay. 80 plus 60, and then I got 700 plus 800, so I got 1500. So both methods are working, and I'm returning integers and decimals. In order to add these two numbers, so if I happen to add these two numbers, I'll have to convert the integers to decimals. So if I console write line this and I say, okay, I want my car weight 1 plus my person weight, and if I run this, I'm going to have the result 1640. All right, so in this case, the compiler was able to take this decimal and this integer together and add them up. So sometimes you have to actually convert these decimals to integers, or if you're working with doubles, you have to convert integers to doubles or doubles to integers in order to have the same data type, so you can actually proceed with an addition or a division or any math. So in this case, it was implicitly converted by C#, so we didn't have any problem with that, and you could do pretty much any operation here. Okay, I hope you guys like the video, and I'll see you in the next video.